Everybody, we have to go old school again. I got to get my speakerphone on for Larry. He's with us. We don't have anybody with us yet, Larry. You know, there's a little bit of a delay and nobody's in the chat yet. So just give people a chance to hear. Gloria is with us and James is with us and Don is with us. Oh, wait a minute. Is this from yesterday? Rindy's here? No, this has to be from today. Yeah, it's from today. So all right, we're up to 21. So go ahead. And I've got the volume as loud as I can get it.
All right. What is today's date?
Today is October 11th, 2019.
October the 11th. All right, folks, a lot's going on. First off, let's deal with the rally Trump had last night in Milwaukee.
No, Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, I'm sorry. Minneapolis. And, it's totally shameful what the people did outside protesting. And guys, this is where it's headed. And I'm telling you, it's going to get rougher. You could spot, if you saw any of the footage from that event, you could spot the Antifa people. They were the ones going around leading the war hoops and the war chants, acting like idiots. And you just want to reach out and shake them. They don't know what they're doing. They don't care what they're doing. They're just being paid to go and make a scene. And I can't believe that the Democrats, even the Democrats, would stand back and let these people attack the police that are trying to just keep everything safe. I can't believe it. I mean, what kind of party is the Democratic Party today? Are they anarchists? They sure look like it. Last night was an example of what they are. Anarchists. People that want to overthrow this country. And what's scary is they think they've got it where they can do it. Now, folks, don't get me wrong. Anyone has a right in this country to speak their mind. They do. To give their opinion. They do. But that does not give you the right to harm people, to intimidate people that are trying to express opposite views. It doesn't give you the right to take personal property like their mega cats, take them off and burn them in front of them. It's not what it gives you a right to do. And then above all else, throwing things at law enforcement. Throwing things at law enforcement. What on earth did law enforcement do to that crowd? Well, the only thing they did was stop them from assaulting people that went in to the rally. That was their job, what they do. And they would do the same thing if the situation were reversed. If the rally was about Antifa and outside were white skinhead nutbags, they would do the same thing there for Antifa. I hope the Democrats are proud of how they looked last night. I hope they're proud of it. Because it sure burned into me individual that I needed to see every once in a while to remind me just what we're up against, to remind me what we're fighting. I needed to see it. You needed to see it. And others need to see it. It's not pretty, but it's true. And I'm telling you guys, it's going to get worse. The Antifa people are going to start bringing more people to the rallies as this campaign gets going in high gear. They're going to bring more and more people, and they're going to come with one thing on their mind. Now watch what they do. They want to incite violence. They'll do little things to start the violence, but then they back away. That's what they're taught to do. Start the violence, then back away. And then get idiots in the crowd to do the fighting. That way they get arrested and the Antifa creeps don't. But that's what's coming. Now the next thing, today, you should know that former Ukrainian ambassador, lady, I can't say her name, is in front of still, I think, in front of a shift hearing. Now this hearing's unique, as I understand it. In this hearing, the Republicans can't ask any question they want. The rules of the hearing are that certain questions can be asked, and that's it. The whole purpose of this hearing is to give Schiff and the Democrats quotes that she says that hurt President Trump. For example, one of them is going to be, I think you're going to hear, maybe you already have, that Trump ordered her fired for what she knew was going on with President Trump in the Ukraine. He ordered her fired. Well, there is a personnel problem that was asked about, but it was dodged. Apparently, she was given 27 demurs over a short period of time. Demurs is basically an official slap on the hand, whatever you want to say. And you wonder, did that have anything to do with her firing? The fact that she was not doing the job the way the president wanted it done. And by the way, the president dictates. The president dictates what ambassadors do in the countries they're in. You understand that? It's not their will. It's not the will of the core of ambassadors. It's not the UN. It's all about what the president wants. These people work directly for the president. They work as liaisons to the president of the United States with the country that they are the ambassador to. So don't be offended when you hear that, for example, she did not do what the president wanted, she would not carry out, if that's what she says, the president's directives, when in fact and indeed that is exclusively her job to do that, carry out the president's wishes. She she didn't like his wishes. Now, there's one other thing you're going to hear about. You may already have. I don't know how the Democrats are releasing this stuff yet. But one of the things we're going to hear about is this ambassador, former ambassador, when she was planning or thinking about coming out, guess what she did? She went and talked to none other than Joe Biden to get him to tell her what she should do. And he routed her to ship. Think about that. She went to Joe Biden first, before anybody knew anything. She goes to Biden. Did anybody hear about that? Did anybody hear about that back in the beginning? When all of this stuff first broke? Remember? Looks like this whistleblower just followed the rules exactly correct. I mean, this whistleblower did everything by the numbers. Only today we find out she didn't do it by the numbers. She played the political game. Went to Biden. Then to Schiff. And then Schiff, in the interest of hiding the fact that she was a political operative, he sent her to Schumer. And Schumer gets his legal team to draft the complaint. Anybody smell a setup here?
That's awful.
Now, can anybody believe that there are a group of people in Washington, D.C. sitting in a committee hearing right now, hearing this woman, I'm just finished it, I don't know if they are or not, sitting and hearing this woman in that committee, knowing what I just told you? Why would you even have her there? Why would you even have this hearing? You know it's rigged. You know she's not a witness. You know her motives are not pure. Yet they're wasting millions of dollars right now of our money playing this game that's all about impeaching President Trump. That's all it is. And I don't mind telling you all, I'm getting tired of it. I am. I don't know if you are, but I'm getting pretty fed up with it.
Well,
I heard MSNBC's analyst, a couple of their political analysts, pros from Dover, if you will, talking about last night, and they were asked about the goings on outside of the arena. And you know who they blamed it on? This will kill you. This will kill you. You know who they blamed the rioting outside on? President Trump, of course.
how?
They said he was inside spewing hatred. He was the cause of it.
But they didn't hear it.
He talked about Somalis. And since there's some kind of big contingent of Somalis there, that they took offense, and therefore that's what caused all of it. Guys, let me tell you, to get that many people to that event took weeks of planning, weeks of calling, weeks of planning, getting people to show up. And then when they get there, they're not listening to what he says inside, they're outside. But isn't it amazing that even the protest riots against him, he calls by what he said inside? you think you've got enough to
Okay, are we back live? I think we should be back live now. Yeah, go ahead.
All right, folks, sorry about that. Internet went down, so we got knocked off. So if you're there, if somebody can hear us now, would you please chat in and let us know you're hearing us, please?
Yeah.
I know it takes a couple of minutes for it to register.
Somebody else say okay. Can you? We're back. Okay, Kevin said we're back.
Good. Well, since we're having trouble with the computer, here's what I want everybody to do. I want to talk about Syria for a moment. But y'all go ahead and get your questions in. Since we're having trouble with the internet, I don't want to get knocked off again before. If you have any questions that you want to ask.
And if you, hang on, if you asked a question at the beginning of the show and I didn't see, I've scrolled down, so ask again if there's something to be asked.
All right. The issue is still out there about Syria. The president made three offerings, three possible solutions. Number one, send our troops in and push Turkey out. Number two, put extreme tariffs on Turkey. And as the president has said, at any time we can, through tariffs, shut Turkey's economy completely down. the third thing is try to mediate some type of resolution. Those are the three choices he's got. Get in the fight, put our troops in, bankrupt Turkey with tariffs, or mediate and try to get a resolution. Those are it. Those are his options. Now, which one do y'all want? Does anybody in this audience right now, are you willing to send your son, daughter, husband, nephew, whatever, to Syria to die for that conflict? Is there anybody here willing to do that?
Yesterday they said no.
Well, then let me give it to you this way.
Kevin said mediate.
Yeah, and let me say it this way, folks. It's kind of a simple way to work this out in your minds and in your hearts. If you're not willing to send your son or daughter and have them go there and possibly die for that situation in Syria, then don't send nobody else's son or daughter. Don't. See, that's the fair way to do it. I know if we don't have children in the army or in the military, I know if we don't think about it that way that often. But we need to. We need to always think about, in all of the conflicts over there, would we put our sons and daughters in that conflict and possibly die for that place over there? And if your answer in your heart of hearts is no, then you have no right wanting to send anybody's son or daughter in. You got it? Think about it. Pretty rudimentary. Now, breaking Turkey down economically, that's a possibility. It is. And we could do it. I'm sure we could easily put Turkey's economy down. I'm sure we could put it down and nothing flat with tariffs and other pressures that can be placed on it. And let me ask you about this. Do we want to hurt people in Turkey? The average Turkey citizen, the average Turk, do we want to hurt the average Turk? Have they done anything to us? And forget about Erdogan. Forget about his ambitions and what he's trying to do. I'm talking about just the average run-of-the-mill family in Turkey. Do we want to devastate them? I think the answer is no. So that leads us to mediation. It's worth a try. It's worth a try. Now, our military is moving some 2,000 soldiers into Saudi Arabia, along with, I don't remember how many, or I can't say how many, Patriot missile batteries. But they're there for rapid response. I mean, if for some reason Erdogan goes over the top and starts committing mass death, then we have to go in. We have to stop him. If he starts committing genocide, we've got to stop him, along with other countries, are going to have to help us. It will not be us alone. And we have a rapid response unit there now, are going to have there very soon. And just having that unit there puts pressure on Erdogan, because he knows that if he gets overly aggressive with his invasion, then guess what? We're coming. And we'll slap him down so hard that he will probably lose his power. So you see, President Trump's playing this very close and very wisely, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And having said all of that, let's take your questions if you've got any.
Yeah, I appreciated, James, with you that Trump was serious last night when he said the hardest job he has is telling parents that their son or daughter was killed. And especially, he said, in Afghanistan, when we have trained their soldiers and then they turn around and shoot our guys in the back.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let me tell you, folks, I have had to tell loved ones. I had to look them in the face and tell them their loved one's gone, how he died.
All right, James wants.
Good job.
No, it's. I can't imagine how hard that would be.
It's bound to be triply hard for the president.
Yeah.
Since any action militarily is his responsibility.
Yeah.
So, folks, just know President Trump is more than just honoring the promise he made during the campaign. President Trump's telling the truth. He's just absolutely telling the truth. We don't need to be there. The only thing that's going to happen from the day we went into these countries until the day we leave is how many American lives are going to be lost, how much treasure are we going to lose. We're going to gain nothing. And what's sick, we were never going to gain anything from when we went in and knew it. That somebody had to prove to somebody that they were tough. And it's easy to prove you're tough when you're doing it with somebody else's sons and daughters' blood. Believe me.
All right.
What else you got?
Okay. James again. The Democrats stole the House in 2018. Trump allowed this and all the stuff going on. What do you think of the Democrats doing this to show everyone who and what they are? That he allowed them to show who and what they are. Is that why he didn't go after them for the election fraud?
No, I don't think so. I can't say for sure. But I would imagine 2018, President Trump was just as disappointed, broken-hearted, disillusioned as most of us were. I mean, think about what all he had done by that time. Think about the commitments he had made and the work he had accomplished by 2018. It was significant. Why would people go out and put in Democrats? Why? Now, we know in some 30 or 40 districts, Democrats ran and won, claiming they were pro-Trump type Democrats, which is not possible. But that's what they said, and they got them elected. But I hold the American people, folks. I don't hold anybody. I don't hold election fraud. I don't hold anything or anyone responsible responsible for what happened in 2018 other than the American people? The people that voted that day. That's who broke the faith. And I just hope we don't have a repeat of that in 2020. What else, Neil?
Okay. Have you heard that Eric Claramella is most likely the whistleblower, and she used to work with Joe Biden? And somebody else asked why you don't think Bolton is the whistleblower.
That's a hard one for me to answer. I know who the whistleblowers are. Bolton's not one of them. I'll leave it at that. The other person, I'm not going to say. Not allowed to.
Okay, do you know what Obama's up to lately?
No, I don't. But I can only imagine he's probably planning right now his role in the takeover of this country. Because I believe he believes that they're going to take it. I think he is instrumental behind all of these efforts to get Trump impeached, or to certainly lead him down to where hopefully he can't win in 2020. They're saying that, hopefully, not me. And I believe Obama is knee-deep in the middle of the plotting and the planning. Now, can I prove it? No, not yet. I can prove he was in the beginning, just not now. I can't say what he's doing now.
Can Lindsey Graham subpoena this former ambassador to his Senate committee?
Yes, he can.
The
problem will be, yes, he can, but she will probably not respond to his subpoena.
More game playing. Can they bring Schiff in for questioning?
No.
Okay.
He is a member of Congress, and as I've told y'all before, that provides them with any member of Congress is provided with certain abilities that we citizens don't have. They make laws for us, but they don't have to live by them. It'd be a whole different situation if Congress had to live by the laws they pass.
Oh, yeah.
But they don't.
Randy asked, in talking about what the troops going to Saudi Arabia, she said, I thought he wasn't going to put boots on the ground.
He's putting them in a friendly country. They are not in harm's way as long as they're in Saudi Arabia. We have a base there. So they are not in Saudi Arabia. They are not in harm's way. But they are in position to be a mic force if needed, if Turkey starts committing genocide.
Okay. Tamara says the Kurds say President Erdogan has bombed a prison that holds ISIS prisoners. You heard anything about that?
Have not. I have not heard a word about it. Now, that's not saying, of course, that I would hear about that. I wouldn't necessarily hear about it.
Gloria asked, why is it up?
I'm just saying I would not necessarily have heard about it. If I do hear about it, I'll tell you.
And Gloria's asking, why is it always us? Why don't the French and British do their part?
What?
Why is it always us? Why don't the French and British do their part?
Well, that's one of President Trump's big issues. He talks about that all the time when he's referring to other countries not paying their fair share. He's not just talking about their participation in the UN, their funding of NATO, etc. He's also talking about their participation in ground activities. Now, the Brits historically have been pretty good about bringing some in, as have the French, but nothing in comparison to our investment in troops and money. Whatever.
I'm looking, hang on.
No?
I'm looking.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, Michelle, for sending 25. I will get that matched. I will ask for the
And don't
match.
forget, I got 60 right before the program.
Yeah. Got it. Okay. And she'll send up to 25 to match. Pastor Roach says, this is the real problem. We can survive the Democrats, but we can't survive the people who put them in power.
That is an excellent point. And to the pastor, I was just seeing on television where California's wildfires are trashing another 1,000 acres of land. You know, sometimes I wonder, now this is getting kind of religion-y, so pastor, forgive me because I don't do it well. But sometimes when you look at the disasters in California, the mudslides, the wind, fires, at some point, you know, you kind of got to say maybe God's trying to tell them something. You know, maybe they're just not listening. That's my opinion. Lord, it's Lord.
I'm sure many of us Christians ask that same question. I know there are a lot of good people out there, but there's a lot of the other kind too. Do you think Mayor Giuliani will question the whistleblowers?
I don't know that his legal action will give him access to the whistleblower. That is being investigated right now. There is some confusion under law. Would he, through a lawsuit, be able to get discovery from the whistleblowers? I don't know. They don't know, but they're looking into it.
Karen says the Kurds want their own country. Do they expect the U.S. to help make it so?
If they do, they're sadly mistaken.
Okay.
We have a president that has made it quite clear. Any group that wants their own country, they're going to have to fight for it. They're going to have to fight for it. We're not. We've got a terrible track record of where we've come in, interceded, and put a government in place. The governments we put in place have not worked out very well around the world. So I applaud President Trump. And it's difficult, guys. It is difficult. I know some of the Kurds, or used to. I guess they're still alive. I know some of them. And it's hard to see what they're going to have to go through. But they're going to have to go through it. It's like I told you yesterday, folks, we went through a bloody, horrible civil war. So if other countries want freedom, if they want freedom from suppressive forms of government or from invaders that have taken them over, they got to fight for it. They've got to fight for it. All we are obligated to do, guys, I'm telling you, all we are obligated to do is to not allow genocide. That's it. For one side or the other, neither side. Even somebody that we might support, we can't support them committing genocide against the force that we don't like. We can't allow it.
Tamara asks, why can't the Supreme Court start helping with this corruption?
Well, because it's got to be presented to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court cannot act standalone. It's got to be presented. And by that, I mean they have to actually look at cases. Cases have to be brought to them. There are a couple of three already under advisement by the court, Supreme Court. But remember, the Supreme Court can't just act on its own. What else?
James asks again, there's a video of Obama giving a speech to people in Kenya saying he was born in Kenya and now he's president. Why has no one gone after him for that?
Well, now, because it's too late. It's too late. Nothing's going to change. He was president. We're not going to wipe it out. We're not going to wipe out his presidency. We're not going to be able to take a pen and erase all of the, what I consider to be illegal things he did as president. We can't do it. It's over. We have to concern ourselves with where we are today and where we're going. Please. That's our concern.
And have you heard about the judge ruling that Trump was trying to deny green cards to immigrants for government benefits, and a judge ruled against that? Blocked him?
I heard about it. That is under review. Trump's legal team are reviewing, and you can expect that to be appealed.
Okay. And thanks, Bonnie, for the 25.
You know, I'm looking at Fox right now, and I see Shepard Smith and Chris Wallace. Those two guys hate Trump as much as anybody on MSNBC or CNN does. Those two guys right there. So beware. Beware. And I'm starting to lose a lot of faith in Judge Napolitano. I have witnessed him making some commentary over things that have been done that are just absolutely wrong. And for some reason, all of a sudden, his commentary usually now seems to be against that of President Trump. I'm not going to make any allegations other than that. I'm just saying that's just the truth. What else you got?
Why didn't Daddy Bush put safeguards to help the Kurds in the early 90s?
Because Daddy Bush was 100% committed to oil and gas. And he didn't give two hoots and a tinkers in reality about the Kurds about the Middle East. He didn't care.
Were the Kurds faithful to us?
Without his interest.
Yeah, were the Kurds faithful to us at our battles?
To the best part, yes.
Tamara, the Obama.
Look, it's hard to judge in that region what someone or what you just referred to as being faithful to us. Remember, we've made a lot of wrong decisions in that region as we've gone through different administrations. We've made lots of wrong decisions. So, are there occasions when some people in those countries have acted what seems to be against us? But remember, they're fighting for themselves. That's their interest, themselves. They have to be concerned. They live there. And oftentimes, when we've been wrong, we put these people, like the Kurds, in a bad situation. That they don't want to go against us. They don't want to displease the leaders of America. They don't want to do that. They know that they've got to have our help. But sometimes we've been so wrong that they've had to, in effect, go against us. What else?
So is Obama going to get away with all his crimes? And can he be impeached?
Obama?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you said?
Yeah, it's too late to impeach him.
Yes, he cannot be impeached. Will he get away with all of his crimes? There is one lingering crime that I don't think he's going to get away with. Now, whether it gets prosecuted, that's up to law. But remember what I've told y'all. He signed the order for Brennan and Clapper to start their counterintelligence investigation of the Trump team, Donald Trump and his campaign. He signed that order. And he is culpable for doing that. Now, how does that play out? I can't tell you right now. But if the world was really round like it's supposed to be, if the world is really round like it's supposed to be and not flat, then he should be prosecuted for that. But I can't promise that to you yet. I can't.
Okay. Gloria heard that the Ukraine and China were being set up to take over the United States, and Trump blew the lid off it. Have you heard that?
I have not. I would not believe that. I would put that in the category of stuff that I'm sorry, I just would not believe.
Somebody's asking what YouTube anons would you recommend? You don't know about the anons as far as I know. And as for other truth tellers on YouTube, I don't think, besides what Jason's doing. I mean,
yeah, guys, I don't pay attention to that at all. There's no reason for me to get information that way. I mean, it serves no purpose for you and no purpose for me. You need me doing what I'm doing, and hopefully being in a position to tell you the truth about what's going on.
yeah. Other than
much of the YouTube stuff, so much of the YouTube stuff, folks, It's just regurgitating the same stuff, with just their different spin on it. Aggregators.
Yeah. What do you think the effect will be of Trump's letter to Pelosi telling her to call for a vote for impeachment?
I've got to be careful what I say about this, but there is going to be an effect. You are just not going to see it right now. There is going to be an effect, and it's going to cause her lots and lots of trouble. Lots of trouble.
How much did the infiltration of Operation Paperclip play a role in what's happening today?
A lot. A lot. Still going on. It is still going on.
Wow. What if the Kurds want to seek protection in America? Will they be given asylum?
I can't tell you that. I don't know. I don't know how they're planning to handle it. I just don't know. I can find out. I just don't know. But I'll tell you this, I don't see us allowing, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000 Kurds into this country. I don't see that.
Okay.
What else?
Are Ellen DeGeneres and GW in cahoots as part of the propaganda machine?
Now what? Rosie's entertaining me. Now what?
Ellen DeGeneres and GW, are they in cahoots as part of the propaganda machine?
I don't know. Everybody's making a big deal over him sitting with her or her sitting with him during the ball game. I don't personally read anything, all that dig into that. Bush has obviously got a weird set of friends, and they're big time buddies with Bill Clinton and Hillary. So, hey, why not Ellen DeGeneres?
Tamara, Larry does not know who George Webb, and so he won't say anything about what about him because he doesn't know. Cindy asks, how can we stop the media to stop spreading lies?
The only way to stop the media, believe it or not, is to just bombard the living dickens out of them with emails telling them you're not going to buy the products they advertise, you're not going to watch the programming if they keep it up. That's the only thing we've got that we can do. I'm not going to tell you that we can do that much because we don't have enough people. But if we could get, say, 100,000 people constantly pouring the coal to them, we might make a difference. Might. But that's it. That's all you can do.
All right.
Remember, the problem with CNN and MSNBC, they're owned by Disney and Comcast. And obviously, both of their corporate owners are willing to take a loss to be able to conquer this country. I mean, they're willing to lose money now because this is the battle for the nation. So they're going to spend every cent, every dime they got. They'll lose money big time. They will. They're in it that far. against a massive amount of global funding trying to destroy America.
James asks, since Obama's presidency was illegal, I don't understand why he can't be stripped of his presidency and all his executive orders rescinded. Can you explain?
Just can't do it, James. Can't do it. It's history.
And Rindy doesn't know what Operation Paperclip is.
Well, it was part of the spying operation going into this whole matter. That's what I'll say at this point.
Yeah, Cindy says, after World War II, the government brought Nazis here to the U.S. to work in government, NASA, and science.
It's part of it all. All right, one more. What have you got?
James thinks the what's going on with the Democrats will backfire on Trump and help him. What are your thoughts?
Say that again. You think what?
Will this impeachment stuff backfire on the Democrats and help Trump win?
It's possible if we were working under the old formula, a 40-40-20, James, all of you. In past elections, this could be right, 40-40-20. And what that meant was 40% would love Trump, 40% would hate Trump. 20% were in the middle, swing voters. And whoever gets the majority of the swing voters wins. So in a normal election cycle, all of this stuff with impeachment might build up to the point where that swing voter gets tired of it, sees through it, and then votes for Trump. We're not in that cycle. We don't have that formula nowadays. We're in 50-50. 50-50. And that where we're at today is there's 50% of the people that like Trump, but there's 50% of the people that hate everything about him. Everything, anything he does. So all of this stuff with impeachment just makes the people that hate him hating more. And remember, you do it yourself. Think about it. You go in a restaurant, and if you're treated really nice and the food's great, you might tell 2 or 3 people. But if you go in a restaurant and you're treated crappy and they're rude and ugly to you, you'll tell everybody you know not to go to that restaurant. Well, think about it. When these people hate Trump so, they will do almost anything to beat him. That's why we have to work so hard on the soft base of Trump's voters to make them get out and vote. Whichever side gets the majority of their soft base to vote will win this election.
Mm-hmm.
So, I hate to say it, but the impeachment stuff really can't backfire because it can't do anything to the people that already hate him except make them hate him more. All right, guys. Been on an hour. I need your help desperately, so please, if you can, chip in today, please. Got a little health issue, so I need your help.
And we do have somebody who will chip in. We have 101 right now, by the way. We do have somebody who will match up to $25. So if you give, everything you give, anything you give gets matched up to $25. So whatever if you give over 25, you're still getting another 25 added to the pile. If you're giving anything under 25, it'll be doubled. So do whatever you can. And Larry's PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. That's nicholslive@aol.com. No first name, just his last name, nicholslive@aol.com. There's a direct link at the website, nicholslive.com. And there is also his address, 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. That is on the website, 58 Kensington Drive, Conway, Arkansas, 72034. He cannot cash checks. If you need to send a check, then you need to use the phone number that's on the website, and I'll put that in the, I'll type that in right now. And I can help you work out something else.
Everybody needs to be here Monday, because I should have some information for you Monday that I think you won't get anywhere.
All right, Monday's a holiday, but we'll be here anyway. And so I said Monday's a holiday. It's Columbus Day, but we'll be here anyway. So.
Yeah.
And
if I don't get it for Monday, I'll have it for Tuesday. Maybe I'll have it Monday.
I mean, Monday would be great because being a holiday, you know, more people should be able to join us. So that would be awesome.
Okay, well, I've got to run.
Okay,
so,
Larry. Thank you.
Please help. Please help. Desperate. Thank you. Thanks for your help.
Yep, sure thing. Some of why remember with the questions about why aren't people being arrested, why aren't they being indicted, why aren't they in jail, why can't they be put in jail? People at the highest levels of government, which would include Hillary, cannot be put in a regular prison because of their security clearance. It would be against national security interests to let her be in a population unless she was put in isolation, and that's really hard on somebody. So no, James, our country is split 50-50, and the 50-50 rule is that look, in 2016, during the primary of 2016, there were more Democrats that voted than Republicans that voted in the primary. And 51% of all voters voted for an avowed socialist, Bernie, or a known communist, Hillary. So we had 51% of all voters in the primary voting for Hillary. Now, when Hillary became the candidate, there were Bernie supporters who did not want Hillary coming in. And so they were refused to vote for Hillary, and they voted for Trump. And now Hillary and her gang will not get immunity on everything. That is not true. There are things that Comey gave her complete immunity for the rest of her life. That's true. It was done illegally, but it was done. But there are other things that she will be held accountable for. But remember, with all these things about prosecution, the military tribunal issue that everybody talks about is not the way that's not how it's going. That's not the way it works. We are not under martial law. We don't want to be under martial law. And so things have to go under the regular court system. And right now the courts are rigged. The juries in the areas with purview, in other words, DC, Virginia, New York, very strong Democratic strongholds. And so the juries are 92% for the deep state and will side with them in a jury trial. So that creates a problem even for the grand jury. So Guantanamo Bay is for foreigners, not American citizens. That's not the way it works. And people who talk about all these other possibilities don't know what they're talking about. Larry has been working with the government for at least 40 years. Maybe let's see. At his age, he's probably been, after his military service, you know, when he started his military service, that was 50 plus years ago. So between what he did in rising up through the ranks of the military and then his special ops work, he was a Green Beret, he did special ops. He has fought all over the world and been part of a lot of things. That's why he knows so much about the cellar boys that he is now whistleblowing about. Yes, people are not informed. They believe the lies that they hear. Just like we have trouble, folks, we have trouble with the people we listen to on YouTube. We're not getting our news from mainstream media, but we're getting our information from people on YouTube that we trust. And every time I take some of this information to Larry, I'm told that's not true. That's not how it works. And I won't name names because I just don't want to do that. But it's atrocious. People hear, this person hears something, and then a lot of these people are friends. And so it goes round and round and round. That's called circular journalism. You hear it from one. Don't you remember the game we played as children? And the next person goes, and by the time you get to the end of the line, it's a completely different story. Everybody adds their own spin, which gets picked up by the next person. And so a lot of what we're hearing is people who don't know what they're talking about, spreading all kinds of misinformation and disinformation. We cannot use Guantanamo. We cannot use military tribunals. A lot of these people cannot go to prison because of their security clearance. That doesn't mean they won't be held accountable. But when Bill Clinton, the first day he was in office, the day of his inauguration, he fired all federal prosecutors. And my understanding is Hillary is the one that put in all their favorites for federal prosecutors. You cannot fire the judges until your second term. They will still get their salary and their retirement because it's a lifetime appointment, but they can be fired. And so there is a plan, if Trump wins a second term, that there is something he can do with the judicial system to change who goes into office. If Trump wins, we expect we will also get the House and the Senate, and we are hoping that the number of senators who are pro-Trump will increase. Trump will have, if Trump has the House and the Senate, we don't have Paul Ryan as Speaker anymore, and so we will have, Trump will have a stronger position after 2020 to work with the Congress. And so those are the issues. My phone number I typed in. If you can't give cash in the mail and don't do PayPal, please call and I'll help you figure out what to do. We can use Western Union, but you don't send Western Union to Larry because Larry can't go pick it up. So we have to work something out, and I have to usually work directly with Larry to say, who can you use today? He'll have somebody go, and so we need to give you the name and get the tracking number to Larry and so on. So you do that through me. Checks can be mailed to me. I have an account at Bank of America that I use to pass the money through to Larry, and I put money in that account to pay Larry's phone bill. So that's enough until today's Friday. Wow. Have a great weekend. Please remember Larry's need is for every single day. He's got a lot of health issues going on, partly because of the stress of what he's working on. And it does have some effect on him. And so he does need help to get medications and the treatment that he needs. Thankfully, he always bounces back. Every time he has a setback, he has a will to live and a determination like nothing I've ever seen in any human being before. It absolutely boggles my mind how he bounces back every time, but he does. And you've heard, how much better he sounds, and he's been on the phone for many hours today. And, you know, I have no clue who he's talking to, but I don't understand the security clearance either, James, but somebody who has that high a security clearance can't be put into a regular prison because of the risk of them talking and somebody, a prisoner, getting the information out into public knowledge to another country. So that's it. All right. Thanks for being here. We'll talk to you on Monday. Have a blessed weekend. God bless you. Bye. Oh, I'm going to say one more thing since I've got the shirt here. Don't forget, we need a couple more people to order a Never Socialism t-shirt. You can order it without it saying Nichols Army at the bottom. It's this, I'm sorry that the way the sun is hitting it or the light coming in the back window here is just, but you can see in the corner the bright yellow. And I know that looks like a green V, but it's actually a metallic gold. So order your t-shirt at nicholslive.com under the merchandise. And Larry's CD, there's a link there that you can listen to the demo and on YouTube. And actually the demo link is underneath the video here in the description box. So thanks again. God bless you. Bye. See you Monday.